Wake up and ball. Going to the Super Bowl this year, you know. Richie,
Yeah.
Tony, we going to the Super Bowl. And you know it.
Woo!
Welcome back to Wake Up and Ball. We give you all the NFL talk right here. What's up, Tony?
I'm good, Richie. I'm good, Richie. Richie drinking coffee out the orange mug. Yeah, we going to the Super Bowl snub. Ew, the Knicks are drugs. I don't know what drug mean, but it's
All right, well, that's how you wake up and ball with us this morning. We have a lot to get into. Super Wildcard Weekend officially is wrapped up after last night's game. Boy, oh boy, we didn't really get to recap all the games over the weekend on yesterday's show. We have another game we got to talk about that happened last night, of course. Yeah. Man, TD's Super Bowl pick is eliminated in round one.
What are you talking about?
Oh, see, I knew you were going to deflect. I knew you were going to.
What? I said the purple team going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, the
Baltimore
purple
Ravens,
team.
baby.
The purple team, man. You
Baltimore
said Vikings.
Ravens, baby.
You said Vikings going to the Super Bowl, and now you're going to turn on my boy Sam like that. I know you are.
Yeah. Everybody better turn on Sam. It's, oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh, man. They're saying Richie's bar is better than Donald's pocket presents. Damn. Listen, man, this show is being powered and brought to you by none other than BetUS Sportsbook, the #1 online sportsbook. Big shout out to them for always sponsoring the show here on Wake Up and Ball. We can't do it without them. If you guys can do us a favor, go to their site, sign up, make your account, all right? And make sure to use the code YouTube150 when you sign up. The divisional round playoff lines are officially out. We know the official matchups now. Woo! So definitely go out there and check it out. The Bills are 1-point underdogs at home.
They know.
Wow, that's interesting because the Bills are actually the better
at
team.
Home.
They're at home.
With the better, because they know.
Wow.
They know, Richie.
We'll get into a big shout out to BetUS, as always, for being the proud sportsbook sponsor of this show. Let's get into it, TD.
Yes, man, yes.
So, should we get into, where do we go first? Last night's game right away? Or?
Yeah, it's only right. It's only right.
Now, I'm very curious. I want to give you the floor of where you're going to go with last night's game because I just want to see if you're aligned as I'm going to light myself a nice...
Boy.
Some people are going to think this is something it's not. Go
on. All right, so last night's game is 1,000% on Sam Darnold. Last night game made me compare, Justin Herbert with Sam Darnold's situation. And it was very interesting to me that Sam Darnold got the weapons, right? Sam Darnold also had the O-line. And
yeah, what?
The O-line.
In what game?
Last night.
He had the O-line?
Yeah, and even people were on the stream last night saying, "Oh, Richie's gonna say this." Well, that O-line was
gonna say this.
Yeah. They were all like, "Richie gonna make it seem like this and that." Listen,
I know what I'm gonna say. Don't you dare put words in my mouth before I speak, folks.
Well, we gonna find out. But yeah, that O-line was just fine. It's Sam Darnold holding on to the football 4, 5, 6 seconds on every play, taking 13-yard sacks, turning his back to the defense. Now, yeah, was the O-line perfect? No. But that O-line, for the most part, Sam made them look 10 times worse than they actually were. Holding on to the football is something you can't do at that level. The amount of egregiousness in him holding on to it was ridiculous all night. Sam got to own about 90% of what happened last night. KOC just kept saying, oh, my gosh. They kept driving downfield, and Sam just kept blowing it. Drive after drive after drive. It was crazy, man. But give the Rams some credit. They covered very well in the secondary, I felt like, in a lot of instances, which made Sam hold the football. So a lot of it was covered sacks. It wasn't the same as the Lions game the week before where they were just wide open people everywhere that he was just missing. And they showed the replay. They actually showed a clip of the replays of how many Sam was missing in the Lions game, by the way. So give the defense credit in the secondary for getting there and making sure that they made Sam hold the ball. But shame on him for, I don't think Sam had one throwaway all game. 9 sacks and didn't have a single throwaway all game. That tells you all you need to know right there, all right? On the other side of the football, it's kind of interesting. You know, I'm a Brian Flores guy, and I was evaluating the game, and I thought the Vikings defense played extremely well outside of those first 2 drives. When you really look at it and you put the context together, the Rams only had 1 drive all game where they went all the way downfield and scored a touchdown. The entire game, they only had 1 drive where they started from the 40 or behind and went down the field and scored a touchdown. So, in my opinion, the defense did very well. 27 points. Sam gave up 7, so cut it to 10. Another one was the first drive where the defense actually gave up 7. That brings it down to 13. And the rest of it was all on Sam Darnold, turning the football over, not getting it on 4th down in their own territory, and the Rams defense actually kicking field goals for the most part. So, yeah, I thought it was okay. I looked at 5 drives that the Rams had where they couldn't score a touchdown when they were in the open field trying to go down the field. So overall, I thought the defense actually played better than the score indicated. The offense just put them in tough situations all night. When the Rams first came out, they looked like that defense don't have a shot. That defense doesn't have a shot. They went up 10 points automatically real quick. And from there, that defense was ironclad for the rest of the game. That's when Sam let it become 17 zip 3 whenever he the fumble touchdown or whatever it may be. And then the offense just kept on making it hard on the defense. So the Vikings, man, another, in my opinion, successful season, but it all came to an end where it didn't matter. Nobody expected them to win more than 5 games this year. They won, if I'm not mistaken, 14 with the strength of Sam Darnold. So the future is bright for Minnesota. They got a defense of a whole bunch of no-names who finally made a name for themselves this year. So the future is bright. They got money in the future, and they'll make this roster better. So I guess that's my breakdown for the whole game.
A long breakdown.
It was an eventful game.
You don't give me a second to talk? Come on, TD. You're supposed to have chemistry. You talk, I talk.
It's your turn.
You talk, I talk is a timer. And I'm just kidding.
What a timer, Rich.
Listen, man. You just got to keep it a buck. I'm not afraid to admit the truth, just like you're afraid to admit the truth.
Where was the truth?
You didn't say anything bad about Brian Flores in that game. Not one thing.
I mean, what do you want me to say? The man, the defense. Oh,
it's just funny because I know where your bias is. You know where my bias lays, right? So I've been very consistent setting up this game, setting up the game before this weekend, even the Lions-Vikings game. What did I say? Everything that Sam Darnold did this season will get flushed down the toilet if he turns into a pumpkin in these next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And what did he do?
Turn into a pumpkin. But you betted on him, Richie. You believed in him.
Yeah, of course I did. And I don't regret it. I believed in him. That was hope. I believed in my boy. I believed in him. And he failed. And he'll be the first one to tell you this. Sam is not dumb. He understands that he just completely fumbled. And I feel so bad for him just because from the standpoint of he's such a good dude. And I know no one really wants to care about this, but a big reason why I like Sam Darnold is just as a human being, I value character. He's just a good dude at the core, and I just hate to see someone like that and go down the way that he did. And he is the one to be deserving to blame. And the offensive line did him no favors, but he also did not do himself any favors because he did not get rid of the ball on time. And a big reason why he failed in that game was mentally, right? He was not built for the moment. And this is where I'm always consistent with every single quarterback in this league. The playoffs show you who you actually are in this league. Because you can be great in the regular season, you can win all these games, you can put up the stats, put up the numbers, but when the pressure's at its highest, you show your true colors. You show if you are born to be elite. Legacy stars are born in the playoffs, and he is not a star. He is not an elite quarterback. He had a chance to become a star. He had a chance to become the face of that team. He had a chance to become even arguably an elite quarterback. If he balled out last week and beat the Lions, he would have a week off right now. They're the first seed, and we'd be saying, wow, Sam actually... Now let's see if he can go win the Super Bowl. And now he had a chance to kind of write his own name, save himself by going out there and balling, and he did nothing. Absolutely nothing. He was missing throws all over the place, and he got in his head. And that's why, the whole him seeing ghosts thing goes viral, which, by the way, that thing is so blown up. He just unfortunately got caught on the sideline saying that. That's a thing that everybody says in the NFL. Like, when you're not seeing the field properly, the saying is, I'm seeing ghosts. But Sam happened to be on the hot mic and got caught saying it, and he's the one that has to be the face of it.
That was a historic night, Richie, of how many picks he had.
How many picks did he have?
Yeah, like 3 or 4.
How many picks did Herbert have Saturday?
3 or 4, but he didn't come to the sideline and say, I'm seeing ghosts.
But that's what I'm saying. He got caught saying it. Herbert was basically seeing ghosts.
No. But the difference is, Sam, there wouldn't be a receiver within 20 yards of his pass when he was throwing them and when he was seeing ghosts.
Well, that was just, obviously, he was not on. I'm not defending that game of him seeing ghosts. I'm just saying it is a common thing in the NFL for quarterbacks to say I'm seeing ghosts when you're not seeing the field properly. He just happened to get caught on the hot mic saying it during an absolutely terrible game, and now he's the face of that term. That's all I'm saying. It just, I feel bad for him that he's, like, getting trolled in that way. Now, he is totally a quarterback, but you look at what happened in that game, and I'll be honest, TD, like, when I was going into that game, I was picking the Vikings, picking Sam, but I always say good things about the Rams. I'm like, don't sleep on the Rams. I've been very consistent with that team because they're the only team in the NFC that have a Super Bowl ring with the same quarterback and head coach, and watch out for them even this weekend, by the way. We're going to get into the preview throughout the week, and I don't want to make this all about what happened to the Vikings. I also want to celebrate the Rams here, but the Sam Darnold just wasted an opportunity. He had such a tremendous season, a breakout season, and now the big question is, the story of Sam Darnold's great. The story of Baker Mayfield's great. The story of Geno Smith is great. The story of all these quarterbacks that's reviving their careers are great, but they're not getting over the hump. So does it really matter, right? So that's the big narrative, and Sam Darnold had an opportunity to go out there and write his name and become the franchise quarterback, and he failed. And he was broken mentally, and you can tell. Kevin O'Connell was pissed off. The whole team around him was pissed off. He was holding on to the ball too long, not trusting himself. He didn't have a lot of confidence in himself, and it was a very disappointing to see Sam go out like that. So,
Richie, I'm not sure he didn't have confidence in himself. You know what I think is going on with Sam in the last 2 weeks? I feel like he built himself up to a point where he's like, oh, my gosh. Look at what I've accomplished. I can't screw this up. And I think that he's overthinking things now to not screw up what he's accomplished, and he screwed it up.
Well, that shows the mental weakness that he has. And that's where you can, scale the greats. The greats don't let that things get to you. Like your mindset is everything. Whether you're an athlete, whether you're building a business, whether you have whatever type of job you have, like whatever you do in this life, I always believe your mindset is everything. And I believe the greats in this world, no matter what field you're in, are the ones that don't let outside pressure, outside thinking, and other opinions infiltrate your own thinking. Because if you allow anxiety, right? Because basically, what is anxiety? It's other people's projections of you getting into your brain, and you're letting that spiral, right? If I let somebody that say something about me all the time, what I do affect me, and then I'm going to not be able to do what I do, right? I'm not going to be able to be authentic to who I am. And Sam, the reason why I'm bringing this up, this is his problem with the Jets. The media in New York is so loud, which is why, by the way, I think is a big issue why the Jets can never find their franchise quarterback, because you got to be mentally strong. You got to be like the most mentally strong person on the planet Earth to survive with the Jets because of the media. He was not able to handle that market. And then I think you're right. He psyched himself out. He was built up. He was able to be in a flow state. And, like, when you're in that flow state and you're playing free, that's where your talent comes to the surface. That's when you're able to play with precision. And we all know Sam is talented. We know he's gifted physically, but his issue's always been mentally. That's why he failed with the Jets. And now when the pressure's at its highest, that's when you're mentally tested, and he failed. He was not able to process things. He was thinking too much, and he was not seeing the field, eating the ball, not getting out of it. And Troy Aikman was breaking him down perfectly, right? He just doesn't have the pocket presence where, he's gonna trying too much in the pocket. Instead of just staying tall, planting his foot, and letting it rip, he's kind of moving around when he doesn't really need to. Like, that's antsiness. So, Sam is not built for the moment. Can he find another home next year and improve? Absolutely. Just like I'm not going to write off Justin Herbert that he's a bad quarterback and he's never, ever going to win playoff games. Justin Herbert's going to learn from that experience and grow. Just like Lamar Jackson learned from his playoff games and grow. Like, I'm not stapling Herbert as a bust in the playoffs. I'm also not stapling Love as, a playoff bust. In this moment they are, but that does not mean they will be forever. Just like with Sam. But Sam, this was his moment, especially when you don't have a contract. You're about to get paid. And now who's going to want to pay him that type of money? So it's interesting.
I think he'll still get paid, but not what he would have gotten.
That's my point. I mean, also, who is paying him? The Vikings? That's the next question. Like, now we're back on the whole Minnesota Vikings. Like, if you're Kevin O'Connell, do you feel like you have confidence to do the same thing you did with Sam with J.J. McCarthy and let Sam walk, and then maybe even have Daniel Jones, who's on your roster, be the bridge instead of Sam? Like, it's...
No, you're going to go with J.J. McCarthy next year.
But what about Sam? Is he on the team or not?
No, because you're not going to pay your backup the kind of money that he'll get. And again, he just screwed himself out about $100 million, by the way, because I believe he could have gotten a 4-year, $160 million deal by one of these bad teams that miss out on a quarterback and 2 years guaranteed worth. But now, instead of $160 million, he's more looking at like a 2-year, $50 million deal on a team that want to use him as a bridge, as they build. So
I think I know where he's going to. Kidding. He's not coming back.
But yeah, he screwed himself out of some money, man. That's crazy. In 2 weeks, you lost $100 million.
That's why I said, man, going into that Lions game, like, Sam, this is like you built yourself up to this moment. It's like you build something all the way up just for it to come crashing or burning before it's finalized. And that's so sad, man. You feel for him, but
I didn't see the post-game presser, but Jesse in the chat, he said KOC basically said he is gone in his press game conference.
Yeah, I saw a quote where, it sounds like that. It does. I mean, I don't see the Vikings. It's just so crazy, though, because let's not forget what happened 3 weeks ago when they beat the Packers. And they got Sam on everyone's shoulders. Yeah. They're like putting everything on him. Like,
but last night was so egregious. You just kept seeing KOC on the sideline. Like,
why are you taking that sack?
They were driving, Richie. Did they not keep driving?
Yeah.
And every time they got in that 20 to 40.
Also, can I add some context? What made that Vikings offense super successful this whole season, which was not doing anything in this game? The run game.
Run game, yeah.
The run game set up the play action to free up Justin Jefferson and Addison down the field. There was no room for Aaron Jones to move last night, which is why you got to give the Los Angeles Rams credit. And I just found out that Chris Shula is their defensive coordinator, the grandson of Don Shula. What? Where did that guy come from? I mean, a star's born. I mean, another coach, that's Sean McVay. He's been on that Rams coaching staff since 2017. I mean, Sean McVay is just a pipeline of coaches. It's just really cool to see. And he had his defense prepared. He had that defense on fire. And I think that the Los Angeles Rams found something special. They have, remember I said Jared Verse, Offensive Rookie of the Year? He had a touchdown. I mean, he's all over the place. He's electrifying. Kobe Turner, captain on that defensive line, a young stud. I mean, the Los Angeles Rams, if their defense can get harmony like they did, mixed in with the savvy veteran of Matthew Stafford and the play calling of Sean McVay, watch out for even the upset next week against Philadelphia, which we'll talk about throughout the week. But definitely some interesting things to analyze here. Chris Shula, defensive coordinator for the Rams, had a great game plan. Stopping the run was important because Sam Darnold is not a quarterback that could put the team on his back and be a gunslinger. You need to have balance. And you saw KOC kept trying to find the balance, but the run game kept failing and failing and failing, so they had to play from behind. That's not the Minnesota Vikings game. Their game is getting the lead and then running the ball, playing with play action, and letting the defense carry them as well. Wasn't the case.
Yeah, we'll see next week with the Rams how I really feel about the defense. It's one thing about these young quarterbacks going into the playoffs, applying pressure to them and things like that, showing who they are. That same game plan doesn't work against the veterans in this league. It doesn't work against the guys that are seasoned 6, 7, 8 years plus. So we'll see how that looks going into next week when you got a real run game that you're gonna be dealing with.
Yeah, we shall see, man. Congrats to the LA Rams. Good story for Los Angeles. The city is going through a lot of adversity right now. So, the Rams got that city a dub, something the Chargers couldn't do. But at the end of the day, we'll see next week. All right. Now I want to talk about a certain topic before we get into other playoff games that I want to get your thoughts of, because you have a strong opinion on this.
Oh, let's see if
we don't have any.
Let's see if we're in tune.
We are in tune for sure.
We
don't have any. Yeah, we are.
Let's see.
You don't trust me?
All right.
Deion Sanders going to Dallas?
Right. That's right, Richie. I've been telling y'all for a year now. I've been telling you, Richie. What?
You question if we're aligned. You question if I don't know. Come on.
Nah, but Richie, hold on. Now. Time to give him a flower.
No. No flowers until he's hired. No flowers until he's hired. Okay, don't jump the gun now. No. You ain't getting no flowers.
Richie,
you ain't getting no flowers till the man's hired.
But still, Richie, you literally shunned it every chance, man. Why are we even talking about this topic? It's never happening. Why, man? Y'all,
it ain't happened yet. Stop running your victory lap.
Yeah, but Richie, is it not getting real right now? Is it not a real possibility?
Yeah, but we have a lot to break down because
Let's do it.
I think there's a lot of reasons why it won't happen.
I told you, Richie.
You didn't tell me nothing.
Man, I told you, Richie, this is the master plan. Jerry Jones made the phone call.
Jerry Jones is the one that's going to have to change in order for it to happen, though.
Hey, we about to see. But let's break it down.
Jerry Jones ain't the guy I think is going to change for it. So, listen, man, we're talking about Dallas officially moves on from Mike McCarthy, and Jerry Jones called Deion Sanders to voice his opinion. Now, I heard from Deion Sanders recently. He's very vocal about him. He said, the only way I go into the NFL is if I coach my sons, number one. Do they have a chance to draft the Suns this year? No, unless they trade up or they do some type of LeBron James like type of thing with the Lakers getting Bronny. That's number one. Number two, the reason why I personally don't know if it'll work. Deion Sanders, what he did in Colorado, he built that program himself. He is an alpha. It's his brand. He's a walking advert. Like, he's just the guy. Mm-hmm. Dallas, the Cowboys, that's Jerry Jones's baby. I don't know if Jerry Jones will be able to let his ego go to the side and hire a man in Deion Sanders to take the ship and let Deion run it. Similar to with the Jets, with Woody Johnson. What the Jets need is Woody Johnson to hire somebody and Woody to become hands-off. Jerry Jones is not the guy to hire Deion Sanders and get hands-off. He's going to have to be handsy. Would Deion Sanders want to be part of the Cowboys if he knows Jerry Jones is going to be breathing down his neck?
Yep. It's working out perfectly, Richard. Let me explain this to you. And of course, I could be wrong, but this is how I look at it. Deion is the ultimate competitor. We understand this, right? And we understand the power clash. But don't think Deion doesn't do everything to elevate on a bigger stage. Ain't no bigger stage in football, Richie, than coaching the Dallas Cowboys and an ex-player who won Super Bowls.
He don't need no money or anything.
This ain't about money. This is about what Deion has always been about. The flash, the fame. There ain't no bigger stage. And so, first of all, his quote last night that Scheffner reported was, had a call with Jerry. I'm intrigued. I'll say that. That's what he said. He said he's intrigued. But I love what we're doing at Colorado and what we built. He didn't rule it out. He just said, but I love, and I think he's using that as a, see, if I come, Jerry, this is what I'm going to need. And they had a conversation, and he said he's intrigued. You think Deion ain't already laid out his demands? And he left it at that. And I'm sure it's something that he's going to be given time to think about while the Cowboys make have some interviews. Now, it's going to be on Deion. But to say, I'm not going anywhere unless I'm coaching my sons, it's easy to get Shedeur in Dallas. Because Dallas got the ultimate asset. All you got to do is tell whatever team that's looking like they're going to draft you, we're not coming. But you want Dak Prescott? We're not coming. But do you want Dak Prescott?
What pick do the Cowboys have?
That's the easy one. We're not coming. But do you want Dak Prescott?
12.
So I'm going to do you one better. This might get so wild, Richie, that the team that was going to draft Shedeur at the top, if Deion say we're not coming, and they go get Dak Prescott, they're going to have their franchise quarterback, and they're going to have him for the low because Dallas is going to have to eat the guarantees. And you got a rookie quarterback, so it's no different from paying Dak.
All right, let me ask you a question real quick. Dallas hires Deion.
Mm-hmm.
They draft Sanders.
At the top by trading Dak.
And then my third part is you're rebranding the TD Cowboys talk, and you know it.
Well, no, I'm not.
You're going to be the biggest Cowboys fan.
Happen.
You know it. You're going to be rooting for that team all of a sudden.
Richie.
You know it.
Richie, I don't like the Cowboys.
You will start to.
Hold on,
you don't like the Cowboys now, but if that happens, you'll be rooting for them.
I don't think you understand something. Not only do I not like the Cowboys, but I don't care about Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders.
You love Deion, bro. You know it, bro.
No, I don't.
Why can't you admit it? You're such a fan of him.
I've never cared like that about Deion. I just saw this happening and tried to tell y'all what was going to happen.
Nah,
That's
dude,
all.
you're like, you love his son. You're hyping up his son as his quarterback prospect. You have some deep love for this family. Why are you now deflecting? You know this.
Richie, I just think you're just trying to stir stuff.
I ain't stirring stuff, man. This is my assessment based off of a year of you talking about this.
I'll tell you the people that I like watching and stuff. I love Brian Flores as a coach. I love Justin Herbert's talent. I love Joe Burrow's talent. I mean, there ain't many people that I'm like, this fan of. I mean,
you're a fan of Prime, man. You're a fan.
No, well, you know what? I do like Prime, but I'm not this like, I want to see him. No, I just said that I could see this happening. And when I threw it out there, everybody was like, you're ridiculous. Here we go with this foolishness. Now look at where we are today. But I wasn't done, Richie. When they trade Dak and they get that early pick against Shedeur, they going to take their number 12 pick, pair it with next year's pick, and they going to move up again and say, Travis ain't coming to you. So you better take these two first. And they going to get Travis under two.
Now you're getting ahead of yourself.
I'm telling you, Richie, they going to set it up. They're going to set it up. Colorado coming to Dallas.
Oh, boy. I don't know, man. I just feel like that would be interesting. Now, the NFL would be all like it would. Everything would get leveled up if Deion went to Dallas. Number one. Number two, I don't think anybody's trading that type of capital for Dak Prescott. Come on.
What is you talking about?
Who's trading
Nobody's going to trade
a top 10 pick for Dak Prescott with that contract? Coming off an injury?
They're not going to eat the contract. They're going to get him for the low. Jerry Jones still on the hook for the guarantees, Richie.
You think, what team? The Raiders? What team are we talking about?
Yeah, a lot of people need to understand this too. When you trade a player, especially early in their contract, the receiving team don't have to worry about the guarantees unless you agree on that, and they're not going to agree on that. Jerry Jones got to eat the guarantees, but it doesn't hurt. Why? Because you're getting a rookie quarterback. You can absorb that.
the latest mock draft on Tankathon actually has. Guess where Sanders is mocked to go?
Probably Tennessee.
Yeah, he's ranked number 1. I gotta do more homework on this kid, bro.
You think they want to?
He's not worth first overall pick.
No, they know
first overall.
But they know he's going to be the first pick.
That's blasphemous. And they got Dallas getting Ashton Genty. That's a Cowboy pick right there. I know Cowboys fans, they want a running back. They've been wanting a running back forever. Look at Jalen Walker, bust at 13. But, yeah, listen, I think it's going to be interesting. The draft season is picking up steam. Senior Bowl is going to be fun. But this is definitely an interesting topic. Will Sanders end up in Tennessee? Will Cleveland? And by the way, this is something I noticed. Back-to-back years, off topic. Back-to-back years, we saw the number 2 overall pick was a quarterback, and a first-year head coach won a playoff game. 2 years ago was Houston. DeMeco Ryans, rookie head coach, paired with a rookie quarterback. They go out there and win a playoff game. This season, number 2 overall pick, Jaden Daniels, with a first-year coach. Now, granted, first-year coach, not a rookie coach. Dan Quinn was with Atlanta, went to the Super Bowl before. He's experienced. But they win a playoff game in the first season together with an organization that haven't won a playoff game since 2005. And then let me remind you of a team that had a similar formula. You know what team? The Jets. Zach Wilson, number 2 overall pick. Robert Saleh, first-year coach. Why couldn't we do it? We had the same formula as Houston and Washington. Now, I know why we didn't do it, because Zach Wilson isn't good and the team sucks. But it's just funny how, as a Jets fan, you see these teams get the second pick, get a quarterback with the first-year coach, and figure it out right away. And then we're sitting here as the Jets fan base, and we're like, what the heck do we got to do?
Because they got the right quarterback, though.
I just said that, yeah. I know.
And you all will never get the right quarterback.
Jackson Dart, bro. Ooh, come on now.
When are you drafting? When are you drafting in either of them?
Who?
The Jets.
Either of who?
I mean, Jackson Dart. Where would you draft him?
Trade back into the back end of the first round. Just like the Ravens with Lamar.
Richie, you don't think he'll be off the board like Michael Penix was?
There's a chance that he can. I mean, depending on the Senior Bowl and the Combine and the Pro Day, there's a chance of that, but he's not even sniffing that. I think there's a chance that he sneaks into the first round, the back end of the first round, maybe.
Guys' stock go up when you see things in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, but that still is his. Right now, he's mocked like third round. You know, like him getting in the back end of the first round, that's still a rising stock. You know, like he's not projected to go early at this moment. So, but there is a lot of steam around him. It's funny because I attached myself to him before this hype started. And now I'm seeing like edits of him everywhere. I'm seeing Jets fans get on the board. I'm seeing Dolphins fans want him. I'm seeing everybody like, hey, this is a Jet. Don't you dare do this.
Just like Vrabel was a Jet, huh?
No. I never said he was a Jet. I wanted him on the Jets.
Yes, you did.
I never really wanted him in the first place. Screw the Patriots.
Yeah.
Screw the Patriots. Come on now. Yeah. All right, let's get into some other games that we didn't really get to break down. I definitely want to get your thoughts of, we didn't get to talk about which game? This one, Green Bay and Philly, or we did?
Nope.
Yes, sir.
No, we didn't. Yeah.
I think we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We didn't get to this one, which was the game of the weekend, arguably, right?
Yeah, I just don't remember talking about Jordan Love, but okay.
Why does it say preview? Cameron. Listen, we'll talk about this. It's not the preview. It's a recap of this game. But Eagles did not look good, but they still come out with the W. Now they match up against the Rams, the Packers, and Jordan Love. The same people, like Packers fans are kind of over Jordan Love. They want Aaron Rodgers back. I feel like we did talk about this. So what are your thoughts of this game, and is Jordan Love not as good as we thought?
Yeah, Jordan Love sold. I mean, these games are starting to be very identical. it's almost like both defenses are actually playing well, but one team is just so inept on offense. And that's what's making the difference. But I remember talking about it now because I was talking about how the Eagles did have the number one defense. So you're right. We did talk about this, Richie.
Yeah, we did. Thought so.
Yeah.
So let's get into this game. This is the best game. Again, not to preview, but recapping it. I mean, this was awesome. And Baker Mayfield sold in a way that is unique, right? It wasn't a bad throw. It wasn't like it was a missed time snap. He fumbled the ball to give the Commanders the ball back. And Jaden Daniels, man, I mean, this is what it's about. And I first want to say this about Washington. This is what happens when you get a new owner. And everyone's wondering, how is Washington able to get this? They're like, oh, it's the quarterback. Okay, let's just not be a short-minded and just think about the quarterback. What were the moves that led to the quarterback, TD? New ownership. What did the new ownership do? They brought in the right GM. They brought in the right coaching staff. And they were lucky enough to get the quarterback. All those things matter. You got to start from upstairs. They have not won a playoff game since 2005. And the biggest change is ownership. Did you hear Magic Johnson talk about? You saw Magic Johnson? What he said?
Oh, yesterday?
After the game. Sunday.
No. What did he say?
You missed it? This is what I'm talking about. Because I tweeted out that ownership matters, and everyone's
I know
like,
what he
yeah,
said
well.
when he first became a partner of the team.
So this is what I'm referring to. I'll show you right here. Magic Johnson sums up exactly what I've been preaching that the Jets need to figure out a way to do.
This man right here. No, this is serious. You said, what does it take? New vision, new owner with a strategy, picking the right people. First, our coach, Coach Quinn, Adam Peters, and then we all step out the way and let them do their job.
Talent, culture, and people.
There it is.
Talent, culture, and people.
So that's it. Don't make this about us. It's about those guys.
Yeah, well,
Magic, did you envision it happening this fast? 2 years?
Quarterback.
How could you?
Got to get a quarterback.
We'll see you guys in Detroit. It's going to be cool.
Make it about those guys. This man.
So, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Talent, culture, people. Hire the right people. You get out of the way, let them go to work. And, of course, like Magic said, quarterback is a big reason for it. So, shout out to the Washington Commanders organization, man. They turned it around.
I need to buy the Dolphins, man.
Ownership matters, man. Look at that owner. Like, he's beloved in that city. He took over the team, and look at that.
Man, listen, man. Washington doing their thing. I mean, you're right. Ownership just all the way through, and then you find the right quarterback, like Magic said. It's a beautiful thing, you know. And now they got a big test. If they lose, it's okay. It was a successful season. This is the beginning of something special. If they would have lost that game, it would have been okay. But good win. And you know what? This is a bigger issue, Richie. This is what I'm talking about. Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. Even if your career, like, name a quarterback whose career was revived and it mattered anyway.
Matthew Stafford.
But Matthew Stafford was
Jared
always,
Goff.
No. We're talking about two guys that were always gunslingers, were great. They were never in a good situation. Nobody ever really blamed them for their lack of success in the previous teams.
Why their teams give up on him?
No, they made a swap. They're like, let's try something different.
Yeah, but I think we could both agree that the Lions' perspective, from an outside perspective, like, all right, they're getting Jared Goff as the bridge.
Yeah, but Stafford balled in Detroit, man. Every year the man was putting up 4,000.
I know. Why did Detroit give up on him, man? Who won that trade?
Because they couldn't. Well, we don't know, because here's why.
No, right now we know who won the trade in this moment.
Well, Stafford.
Yeah, the Rams won.
Yeah, the Rams.
If the Lions
won
win the Super Bowl this year, then it's even.
Yeah, but I think that Stafford is a better quarterback than Jared Goff. Jared Goff in his current situation has a lot around him too. Let's not act like he doesn't. But yeah, I just feel like that's not a reviving of the career though. They didn't like give up.
Jared
on him
Goff
he
was a
wasn't
revival
good.
of his career. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
So you felt like he wasn't good with the
But
Rams
he was
at all?
kind of like Jared Goff with the Rams felt like Jimmy Garoppolo. Like he felt like a a guy like a system quarterback. He went to the Super Bowl, but like you felt like it was the team around him. No one really believed in Goff, which is why the Rams traded him.
What changed? Jimmy G with the Lions. You got to, I mean, Jimmy G went
I
to
don't
a
know.
Super
Jared
Bowl.
Goff in MVP conversations.
Jimmy G went to a Super Bowl. Jimmy G went
I know,
to
but
the
that's why I'm
NFC
saying he was
Championship.
Jimmy G in San Francisco, and then he goes to Detroit. He gets paid for a reason.
He's
Jared Goff is
doing-
playing way better than Jimmy G played.
He's
And
doing his job, but he also has way more than Jimmy G had. I mean,
I don't know. Jimmy G had. What are you talking about? Jimmy G's
Name the
team
weapons.
was stacked.
Name the weapons at the receiver position compared
George
to
Kittle,
now.
George
Okay.
Kittle, Debo
Okay.
Samuel,
Stop.
an elite running game.
How long Debo been there? I mean, how long was Debo with
Bro, don't
Wait,
get me
what-
started. The San
hold on.
Francisco 49ers
Jimmy
team was
G-
stacked around Jimmy G. Also, the top defense in the league.
Hold on, I think you may be mistaken there.
Top defense in the league as well.
How long Debo been with the 49ers? It's 6 years now. How long since Jimmy G been gone?
Like 3 or 4 years.
Maybe it's
You had
three.
you had like the beginning of
3
Debo
years.
at the
3
end
years.
of.
He been gone for 3 years. All I'm saying is Debo Samuel's Kittle. Debo Samuel's Kittle. And in a run by committee.
And one of the best offensive lines in the NFL.
And a running backs by committee.
And an elite running back game. Elite run game.
So
Don't just like dismiss running back by committee as a negative. One of the best running games in the league.
Are we going to sit here and say that the San Francisco 49ers under Jimmy G offense has more than Jared Goff's offense right now?
Jimmy G had a better defense in San Francisco.
No, I'm talking about offense. We do what the quarterback has to operate out of. Are we going to sit here and say the San Francisco 49ers with Jimmy G has just as much as what the Lions have right now?
I would say the Lions have more, but it's not like by a large margin.
It makes a difference. Just that one more guy makes a difference. An extra weapon makes a difference. All I'm saying is this. Jared Goff is in a system now, just doing his job. It ain't that hard in most weeks. You barely get real opposition. So I just think that this is a much simpler situation for him because they loaded up around him. Let's see how that goes 2 years from now when the contract actually starts having an impact and he can't have as much talent. So I just look at it like this. I don't feel like either of them won the trade because both of them weren't bums. They weren't Baker in Cleveland. Jared Goff wasn't Baker in Cleveland. He wasn't Sam in New York. He wasn't, Geno previously with all those other teams. Those are the guys I'm talking about. None of these guys are having success, man.
Yeah, so that's what my point. I mean, Baker still was a dog in that game all the way until making the mistake at the end. I mean, that's really what hurt him. The fumble costed him that game. He had that run where he just like decked 3 people and like picked up the first down. Baker's still that dude. I still think that Baker is the franchise of that team. I'm not putting the whole loss on him. It was just one mistake that cost you, and that's the playoffs.
To what end, though?
Yeah, I mean, mistakes happen. Even the greats make mistakes. I'm not saying Baker's a great, but like that cost him the game.
To what end, though? Can Baker win you a Super Bowl?
I mean, as of right now, you're going to say no because we haven't seen him do it.
None
But
of
he won a
these
playoff
guys.
game last year against Philadelphia. This year he puts up 40+ touchdowns and has a phenomenal season, and he loses in a wild card round. So I think Baker Mayfield, if you want to compare all like those quarterbacks, Baker's the best of them all, and I think he has the best chance to get over the hump next year if they keep building around him properly. But this is more celebrating Washington, man. Like, I know we have all week to talk about it. Does Washington have a chance in the gun range to match up against Detroit?
I'm kind of numb to celebrating them, and here's why. We've been seeing this lately.
And what did I
That
say going
first
into this
year-
game?
that
You're
first year
versing
team.
the Magic team, which is Washington. No pun intended. They have Magic Johnson part of the team. They got Magic, where the Bucks is like they just beat you with gunslinging and
Grinding.
savviness and Todd Bowles, right? But now you have this magical team that doinked it in. You got their kicker who's playing with his hair for like 50 minutes, does not even move in his hair. He's scared. Doinked it in for the win. That's a scary team. You know who the Commanders remind me of? The Jets in 2009 with Mark Sanchez. Rookie quarterback, wild card team. No one sees it coming. Goes all the way to the championship game. We'll see if they can get to the championship game.
When was
that? 2009.
Ooh, that long. Oof.
Yeah, we won. We have 4 playoff wins in the amount of time that you have 0. Yeah.
Richie, you ain't been to the playoffs in 16
You haven't
years.
won a playoff game in 24 years.
You ain't been
You
there.
haven't won a playoff
You
game.
ain't
You
been
haven't
there.
won a playoff game. I don't want to go to the playoffs if I'm going to lose in the first round. The Jets, when they go to the playoffs, they win. We don't get bounced in the first round. When's the last time the Jets got bounced in the first round? I wasn't even alive.
You ain't been there, Richie.
Yeah, you don't win in there. I don't want to go there if you're going to lose. You know what I'm talking about? Like, why would I even waste my time in the playoffs? We're going to lose. We had the Steelers.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on, man. Damon with the $2. Stafford requested a trade from Detroit. He wanted out. And the Rams cashed in, and they got him.
Important note. That is important.
Thanks for the $2. Thank you for the $2. All right, so I do want to say, let's talk about quickly Mike McCarthy, right? We talk about Deion Sanders going to Dallas, but where's Mike McCarthy going? He's going to interview with Chicago. There's another team that's rumored to be interested, which is the New Orleans Saints. So this Mike McCarthy news could indirectly impact the Jets, because if Mike McCarthy lands with the Saints, that rules out Aaron Glenn going to the Saints, which has an open pathway for Aaron Glenn coming home to the New York Jets.
Here's what's crazy, and correct me if I'm wrong, Richie. We were on my stream last night, and we counted there's 6 head coaching vacancies right now. Is that correct?
I mean, Jaguars, Jets, Saints, Cowboys, Bears,
Raiders.
6,
Richie. I didn't realize, and technically there were 7 because the Patriots. But isn't that like the most ever?
I feel like this happens every year. There's always a lot of vacancies.
A quarter of the league almost? That's wild.
Where do you think McCarthy ends up?
I think it's usually like 4. But McCarthy, I have no clue, Richie. I'm not a McCarthy fan. I'm not high on McCarthy.
You can argue from a resume standpoint, he's one of, if not the best out there from a resume.
Yeah.
Well, whether he's going to be successful today and beyond is another question.
Yeah, I just always knew that Dallas stint was a placeholder situation. Not because of Deion. I just never believed in it from day one.
So do you think he would be successful with the Saints or successful with Chicago with Caleb Williams?
You know, as I think about it, maybe he ends up in New York.
The latest report is that the Jets have no interest, but you never know.
Maybe he ends up in New York, Richie.
Bring Aaron back. All right. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about.
I don't like McCarthy. I think that team was plenty talented. And I understand the Dak situation this year, but even before that team is plenty talented.
We also can't forget about the GM openings. There's 3 GM openings.
Yeah.
The Jets were the only one. And thank you for Joe for reminding us about this. The Jets were the only one at first with a GM opening. And then the Titans fire their GM, and then the Raiders fire their GM. The Raiders and the Jets have a head coach and GM vacancy. And then the Titans just have their GM opening. So that's another thing to keep in mind is the general manager search is out there. I thought the Jets would be the only one so we can get the best of the bunch. But we'll see. I was watching Get Up this morning, and I saw Louis Riddick. And I was like, damn, this guy, he's not going to be a GM.
Why? Why you say that?
I don't know. It's just like, I can't take him seriously. Like, I can't go from Joe Douglas to Louis Riddick. I don't know. It just feels like.
Riddick is a overblown, hyped guy. A lot of Dolphin fans hype him. Oh, we need him as GM. But let me tell you why he's so hyped, Richie. Let me say this. I'm gonna go ahead out there and just put it out there. And this may ruffle feathers in the media, right? Some of these guys in media, that's on TV and whatnot, they know exactly what's going to get attention, so they support it. Even if they don't believe in it. It's got like guys like Riddick, in my opinion, Emmanuel Acho. It's so funny. Like, I understand the slander for Herbert, right? But he has the nerve to do this. That's 3 big games for Herbert in 3 years, and he failed. It's time to have a conversation that he's just not a good coach.
And he's right to say
and
that.
Guess what? If he is right, where's the same energy with Tua Tagovailoa?
Because Tua doesn't even get to the big games.
No. Tua's had big games every year, and he blew every single one of them. Every single, but way more than 3, Richie.
Why? He doesn't criticize Tua when he...
Oh, he's a Tua apologist. They all know the media waves. Praise Tua, gonna get you clicks and great recognition. They know who to praise, who to attack, who the people that you praise want.
And that's
to
why
attack.
we're building our own media, TD. That's why we're going to the Super Bowl.
It's crazy to me, and I'm like, where's the same energy? But they're not gonna do that. So I just look at media today as a lot of manipulation based off of what people want to hear.
You're the media. Do you realize that, though?
No, I'm talking. Well, you're right, but I'm saying
Keep that in mind now.
A large part of the media.
Let's not separate ourselves. We're all media now.
This is
now
correct.
That we got credentials, come on.
A large part of the
We're
media.
part of
they
it.
do this.
No, you're right. You're right. Paliker with a $2. Jets passing on MCC because Glenn already agreed. Ooh. I mean, right when Aaron Glenn said no to the Patriots, we knew he said yes to the Jets, right?
Oh, Glenn already agreed. Y'all need to stop. Y'all
Come
Patriots
on now.
fans are just extra.
Patriots fans.
I mean, well, you might as well be, but y'all Jets fans are extra. Y'all think
Well,
everything.
come on, tell me it wouldn't be a perfect story though. The Patriots hire Mike Vrabel, who was a former Patriot great, coming home. The Jets hire Aaron Glenn, a former Jet who is under Bill Parcells, has Jet in his blood, from a Patriots versus Jets rivalry. Having Mike Vrabel and Aaron Glenn come together, they versed each other back in the day. I think Aaron Glenn actually left the Jets before Mike Vrabel went to the Patriots. It doesn't matter, but cool. You know, there's Vrabel ties to the Patriots, Glenn ties with the Jets. I feel like that's why I would love Aaron Glenn. He just I wanted someone that has ties to the Jets. Not Rex Ryan. Someone that actually has real ties with the Jets. And he got brought up as a scout under Woody Johnson when he first got into the, his play off the field when he retired. So I feel like that would be cool. And I tweeted this out as well, TD. Look at this. It would be a new era of that rivalry. And also it's the beginning of the end of the Dolphins. But that's another conversation, right? Look, I tweeted this out. The Patriots brought Mike Vrabel home to be their next head coach. The Jets must do the same with Aaron Glenn. A new era to the rivalry.
Yeah, they must.
It's a cool
but
story.
I don't even know if Aaron Glenn would want to come.
See, that's where you're just speculating and wrong. I mean, we've heard from every source imaginable that Aaron Glenn would love to come home to the Jets. If he didn't play for the Jets and he wasn't a scout underneath the Jets and he had no ties to the Jets, maybe you're onto something. But all those things are wrong.
Well, guess what? One thing that is right, Richie, is time, and it always tells.
We got a Jet question. I love Jets questions. Jet question. So, you going to trade Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings, complete the Favre cycle of life. All fun comment. I did see Aaron Rodgers, Minnesota Vikings jersey swap on my feed today. And that was funny. If Aaron Rodgers goes to Minnesota and completes the Favre cycle, we are living in a
You have a quarterback already, Minnesota. Y'all keep forgetting about your rookie. You got a quarterback.
Jordan Travis?
He's going to start. No, I'm talking about Minnesota.
Oh.
JJ, he's going to start.
Yeah,
next
but he's
year.
coming off he's coming off a setback. You can't, don't you feel like you want to sit JJ another year?
Setback?
Yeah, he had a setback in the middle of the season during rehab.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had another surgery on the same knee. Yeah, so if I'm Minnesota, man, I don't know if you trust JJ being the guy. I think you get another bridge. Maybe you move on from Sam. Maybe it's Daniel Jones. Maybe even go get Aaron Rodgers.
Man, that's interesting. I had no idea. Well, yeah, they need a quarterback next year.
They got Daniel Jones. Is he going to be their Sam Darnold this year? What if KOC's like, watch this. Daniel Jones starter next year, and he does the same thing as Sam.
I get that. But
14
to what
it's just,
end?
no, it's going to be the same thing though. 14
Yeah.
wins, losing the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm like, to what end? Like, yeah.
And then
you
JJ's ready finally for the 2026.
You can put a system around the guy, make it friendly and make him look good. But when the rubber meets the road in the biggest games, in the big competition, big moment, they got to show up. Not your system. They have to.
Well, we shall see. There's a lot to get into. Folks, this is going to wrap up the show here on Wake Up and Ball. We're live weekdays, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. EST. All right, we really do appreciate everybody tuning in. This show is, as always, powered by BetUS. I'm Richie. He's Tony. Anything you want to say, TD, before we wrap things up?
Yes, another great show in the books. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel now. We love y'all, man. Let's get it.
All right, thank you to everybody tuning in. Don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to Roundtable Sports. We're so close to 20,000 subscribers right here on the main network channel, and it's because of all you guys. Peace out. We love you all, and we'll see you later today on The Huddle. Thank you to everybody in the chat that was very active with us. We love y'all. Peace.